victory. I want to thank my whole team. I want to thank Samson Lukowicz, Al Heyman, PBC, my father, Jose Benavidez, my brother, Jose Benavidez Jr., my wife, my kids, everybody that has something to do with this. You know, my coaches, Sam Aaron, everybody, man. I'm just very happy with this. I worked my ass off for this camp. I trained 5 months in training camp for this because I knew Zurdo Ramirez was a warrior, and I knew that he was not going to let go of his titles willingly. So, you know, I knew the risks. I knew what I was capable of. I went up there. I told everybody that I wanted to stop Zurdo Ramirez, and that's exactly what I did. And here I am, and I'm just very happy with this, and I just want to keep fighting against the best in the world and keep cementing my greatness. You know, everybody doubts me over and over and over and over again, but that's what I like. You know, I like when people doubt me because then I get to come in here and show you guys what I'm really made of. So I just want to tell you thank you so much. I love every single one of you, and this is a blessing just to be here with you guys. So thank you so much.
All right, and before we get to your guys' questions, I want to turn it over to the man that was helped behind David Benavidez, helped make this fight happen. Once again, Samson Lukowicz from Samson Boxing.
How many minutes you give me? Because I would love to say the real story from day one about my dear friend, part of my family. I call every one of my fighters my son. But that story is from 10 years ago when I used to do events in Virgin Island. And the local promoter requested from me to have a sparring partner. So I say to him, look, I'm not in the business of sparring partner. Try to get yourself. So he got one guy. And I said, look, my guy is going through an elimination bout. It's the Jackson brothers. And he said, oh, we're ready for everyone. So he brings someone, and he called me up on the second day. He said, you know what? I have a champion over here. I said, I don't know, who is this? The Jackson? He said, no. His name is David Benavidez. You should take him immediately. I told him, look, how I know that what you say? He said, I want you to take a look. And he showed me a small video. And I said, I want this guy. The same thing I say for Maravilla Martinez. The same thing I say for Manny Pacquiao. I said, this is my next one. And everybody, all the promoters, the top rank, happened to be Golden Boy, happened to be Rudy Vela, everybody saying, man, there's no what they bring to be a champion. I tell you will see. And then the first fight, he asked me, I want to fight 100, I need to say that, I'm sorry. 86. On 86, 186 pounds. I say, no, first of all, he was at 178. And he said, no, I want 186. When we're fighting, I said, no, your fight is canceled. You don't fight in 186 because you are 168 and you'll be the youngest champion. You're only 18 years old. And I promised you I would do that. The next fight, you can see 10 years ago, he come up in the Hard Rock Cafe of Nevada in Las Vegas, and he won his first fight, and I say, I have a champion. Since that day, he never say no to anyone. And when he have like 3 fights, I have a call from Eddie Reynoso. And I want to say public that it's my fault because Canelo never fought David Benavidez. He called me up, he said, I need a sparring. Can I have David Benavidez? I tell him no, because he will knock out Canelo. So don't take it. Listen to me, you're my friend. I gave in to Canelo several fights. So he took my advice, but he took my advice for life. Now I believe by far the new face of boxing is David. I hate to say, but I love El Monstruo Benavidez. Because I tell him how I can put you monstruo when you just start our career. So it was el bandera roja, the red flag. When you go to the beach, you see a red flag, it's danger. But when Mike Tyson, he said it's the monstruo, I said, he's the one. So from now we have monstruo, monstruo.
Monstruo.
Listen, in the bottom of my heart, these 10 years with David, with Jose, is part of my family, and I love him so much.
I just want to say something else too. I'm just really happy with this team that we have. Luis de Cubas, Samson Lukowicz, Al Heyman, my dad, Jose Benavidez. Man, we've been making history back to back. I became the youngest super middleweight champion in super middleweight history at 20 years old. And now I became the first person to win a belt in super middleweight, light heavyweight, and cruiserweight. So I'm just very happy and want to keep reaching for the stars. Thank you guys. Thank you all at PBC. Thank you everybody. Come here, bro. This guy too, Luis de Cubas. He's an amazing guy. You know, we've been had a hell of a career, and we're gonna keep going up, man. I'm very grateful for this moment.
All right, Jose, I'm going to bring you up. Just make quick comments. Media will definitely get to your questions, but I want to bring Jose up.
Bueno, primeramente que nada, le quiero agradecer a Dios por esta victoria. Sin Él no estuviéramos aquí. Y también le quiero agradecer por darme unos guerreros, unos monstruos, a David Benavidez y José Benavidez. Quiero agradecerle a Al Heyman, Golden Boy, Samson, Luis de Cubas por hacer esto posible. Sabíamos que iba a ser pensábamos que iba a ser una guerra, una pelea muy difícil. Nos preparamos, David Benavidez se preparó muchísimo y lo demostró hoy que fue mejor. Y creo yo que es la cara del boxeo ahora y estoy orgulloso de decir eso. Representamos una fecha muy importante para nosotros, representamos a todos los mexicanos y es 5 de mayo, es una fecha muy importante para nosotros y muy agradecidos con toda la gente, con todos los medios de comunicación. Pero también quiero agradecerle a José Benavidez Jr. por ayudarme en esta pelea tan importante para David Benavidez. Le quiero agradecer también a mi familia, a mi esposa, a mis hijas y pues a mis hijos y a toda mi familia por todo el apoyo y a todo mi equipo, más que nada, a Poncho, a Serrano, pues a todos, a Sem de Condición Física, que sin ellos no hubiera sido a mi hijo, también a Ángel, Emily y a todo el equipo, más que nada a todos. Y si se me olvidó alguien, discúlpenme. Ahorita la mera verdad estoy muy emocionado, pero nomás quiero decirle arriba la bandera y vinimos aquí para darles un mejor futuro a nuestra gente y aquí estamos, sí se puede. Arriba México, arriba la bandera. Gracias.
All right, thank you, Jose. Now we'll open things up for questions, so please raise your hand. We'll definitely try to get to you guys. Right here in the
Hola,
front,
buenas
David.
noches. Erika Montoya del Heraldo de México. Me gustaría, no me paro por respeto, para que no taparles a los demás. Muchas felicidades, David, por tu triunfo. ¿Qué significa para ti el título? Y durante toda la semana habías mencionado que el Zurdo Ramírez era tu amigo.
No, pues me siento muy bendecido de estar aquí en este momento. Entrené durísimo para esta pelea. Me siento un poquito mal porque el Zurdo Ramirez fue al hospital, pero así tiene que ser. No se juega al boxeo, pero yo hice mi trabajo y si no era él, era yo. So, you know, yo pues tenía que hacer lo que tenía que hacer y ya pues logramos otros 2 títulos en esta división y nomás quiero seguir entrenando duro y ganándole a todos los campeones.
We got a question in the back.
David, Keith Idek from Ring Magazine. Congratulations on a great victory. Do you think that the way that you beat Zurdo tonight will make Dmitry Bivol reluctant to fight you?
I mean, to be honest with you, I can't answer that question. I don't know what these people are thinking. If they're real champions, like how they say they are, you know, they're going to take this. They're definitely going to have no problem taking this fight. I'm not trying to say be disrespectful to Dmitry Bivol. I don't think he's going to get scared away. You know, he's a great champion. But you know, at the end of the day, this is boxing. You know, that's why we're here. We're here to give the best of ourselves. And you know, I'm doubted all the time. Everybody always doubts me. But every time I get in this ring and I show myself what type of fighter I am, you know what I mean? It speaks a lot of volume about me and my character. But I'm ready to fight whoever. I'm ready. I think you guys know that 100% already. You know, wherever it is, it's 200, 175, wherever. I mean, I'm just here to test myself at the end of the day and test my greatness.
Hi, David. Congratulations on your victory. Liliana for Chicana Boxing and BoxingSocial.com. With so much of the conversation surrounding identity this week, how did it feel to perform such a dominant performance on Cinco de Mayo weekend? And do you feel like, you know, maybe you can take over the weekend moving forward in your career?
Yeah, I feel really great. I feel that I'm really starting to come into my own. Everything I speak, I do. You know what I mean? I said I was going to beat David Morrell. I said I was going to beat Caleb Plant. I said I was going to beat Yard. I said I was going to beat Zurdo Ramirez. So I'm just getting, you know, a lot of confidence in myself. And back then I thought it was a dream that I could become a great. And now I know for sure that this is my destiny. And I'm just very, very happy that I'm able to have this type of performance in Cinco de Mayo in the United States. My last fight was in Saudi Arabia. I had a great performance out there too. And it's just, you know, just a blessing to be able to follow it up with this type of performance in the United States on Cinco de Mayo.
Back.
David, straight back. Andreas Hale, ESPN. When I talked to you before, you said you didn't want to just be the face of Mexican boxing. You wanted to be the face of entertainment. Do you think that you put that kind of performance together to get that claim to be not just the most exciting fighter, but maybe one of the most exciting athletes to watch?
Yeah, I want to follow in the footsteps of my idol, Manny Pacquiao. You know, funny enough, me and Manny Pacquiao have the same birthday, so I feel like we have the same fire and the same flame. And, you know, I just want to give these types of exciting fights because when I was a little kid, this is what always excited me. You know, these types of fights, watching these, you know, these crazy knockouts, these crazy stoppages. And I think for me to be able to do this is, you know, I'm able to motivate the younger generation, just like how the old generation would motivate me as a little kid. So, you know, I just really want to become, you know, a positive influences on the kids, and not only just a positive influence. I just want to be a person of motivation, that a person that shows that whoever it is that you might go up against, you might be scared or whatever it is. It might be a tough opposition, but if you really believe in yourself 100% and you're ready to take those chances, you could accomplish anything you want in your life.
Over here to the right.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Piolín, campeón, felicidades. ¿Qué le quiere decir a las familias que encontré durante esta semana que son gente inmigrante, que está sufriendo mucho y que vinieron a apoyarte con miedo, pero estaban aquí en esta arena para apoyarte? ¿Qué mensaje tienes para ellos?
Pues me siento pues bien muy orgulloso de estar aquí en esta posición, estar dando de estos tipos de peleas. Y este es el tipo de peleador que yo quiero seguir siendo. Un peleador que da buenas peleas, buen knockouts y buen show al público.
Porque aquí venimos a Estados Unidos.
A triunfar.
Eso.
David, back here in the back, Marcus Hayes with Fight Hub TV. I want to get your opinion on something. We've got a lot of fighters that have crossed another street into the Zuffa world, and in particular, Jai Opatai. How important is it for you to get a chance to fight him without all the red tape in the way?
I mean, I think that's the biggest fight in the world, especially at this weight division. You know, and that's definitely a fight I want. Like I said, I'm not scared of nobody. This is Monstro's world. And if he wants to get that fight, we get that fight. I don't know why he went to Zuffa. We could have made this fight right after this one, but now I don't know if he got stripped by the IBF or what it is. I'm not going to go over there and fight for a Zuffa title. But, I don't know. I think that would be a great fight to make in the future. And, I respect Jai Opetaia a lot. He's a great fighter. And I think he has to come back over here to make these fights happen because, we can't make no fights in Zuffa.
So that's what I wanted to secondarily ask was that, do you feel like fighters are losing their power by going over to Zuffa?
I think they definitely are losing the power. It's just a lot of politics in that. I think Dana White has showed that he doesn't want to do fights with PBC, DAZN. And I don't want to even feel like, I don't want to sound like I'm disrespecting him, but that's just what it looks like from the outside. If we could come to an agreement and make a big fight, let's do it.
Right here in front.
Hey, David, Miguel Maravilla with Fight News. First of all, man, congratulations on your victory. You're a man with many options. You mentioned, you want to unify light heavyweight. You still have the fight with Beterbiev, Bivol, and then there's also cruiserweight. What do you prefer, and when will we see you move up to heavyweight?
You guys keep asking me about heavyweight. Stop that shit. I'm not going up to heavyweight. It was hard for me to come up to 200. The heavyweight, those guys are super big. You know what I mean? But I won't rule it out. Maybe in 5 years, my body grows into into heavyweight. I was gonna say superweight. But my body grows into heavyweight. We could definitely go up there, make like in 5 years. I think definitely that's possible. But just for right now, man, I'm still interested in going back to the light heavyweight division because I wanted to become a reigning defending champion for years and years, just like how Sergey Kovalev was champion for I don't know how much title defenses. That's really what I want to do. I think if I go up to heavyweight, I could completely forget about light heavyweight. Right now I'm champion at light heavyweight and cruiserweight, and I feel like I could balance both weight classes. I feel like I could have a defense here at cruiserweight, then go back down and have a defense at light heavyweight. If I go up to heavyweight, then it's just forget about both weight classes, to be honest with you.
All right, last one, guys. One more, and that's it.
David, 2 questions, if it's okay. Just the first one over here, Sean Zattel. David, the fighter that has controlled the dates, Cinco de Mayo, Mexican Independence Day weekend, those are the 2 most important dates in the sport in the United States. Canelo will be facing Mabili. Obviously he was at the fight tonight, but he'll be in Riyadh. Will you look to seize that date in the United States? Will that be your next date this year? And do you look to control these dates now going forward, those 2 dates?
I think it's in my best interest for my career to keep trying to fight May 5th and September 14th. Canelo's over there in Saudi Arabia. So it leaves it wide open for me. This is a great date. We put on a great show for the people, and man, I've earned it. I've been champion. I've been professional for 13 years since I was 16 years old. I started from the bottom and I went all the way to the top, calling out the best of the best. I did it the hard way. Nothing was ever given to me. So now that I'm here, I think I deserve to fight on this card. On this date, and I'm gonna keep giving the fans what they want to see on this date.
And the other question is, you talked about the obstacles in the way of an Opetaia fight. When it comes to Dimitri Bivol, his last couple of fights, they've been overseas in Riyadh. How do you think that fight realistically can actually be made? Is that a fight where you would have to travel to Saudi again, fight with Turkey, or do you think it can actually happen in the United States after a fight like this?
I think it'd be better in the United States only because I sell more than him over there. The whole house is packed tonight. That's something that I worked really, really hard to do. It's not easy to pack out the T-Mobile Arena, and we did that. Not only once, we did it twice. We did it once with David Merrill, and then we did it twice again tonight. So I got the ball in my hands. You know what I mean? I'm the one that's filling out these stadiums, or the stadiums. I'm the one that's fighting pay-per-view. Jai Opetaia has never fought pay-per-view. He's never filled out an arena like this. His last fight was in the Zuffa place. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. It's just those are the facts. If they want me to go over there to Saudi Arabia, why? You know what I mean? They got to pay me some good money to make it over there, or they could come here. We could come to the table right here. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I mean, I've worked really, really hard, and everything that I got now, I deserve, and I worked hard for it. So, if they want to come to the table over here, we could do it. Let's get it.
All
Hola, David.
right, thank you
Felicidades
guys.
por tu victoria.
Last of all, I wanted to just give a big shout out to my sister, True Essence. She made my shoes. You know what I mean? She's been making my shoes for the past couple fights, and she's been making it. She's the best shoe designer of all the boxers. So I just want to give it up to her. Thank you, Isabella.
Una más, David. Una más.
David, you made history tonight, becoming the first man to win at 168, 175, 200 pounds. Congratulations on a dominating victory, 6-round KO of Zurdo Ramirez. Final comments as you leave the media and you leave fight night.
I just want to tell everybody thank you so much. God is great. God has given me, I've kept my faith in him, and he's given me a lot of power. He's given me a lot of belief in myself, and I'm just very happy. And I'm just going to keep being the best version of myself and keep motivating others. And, we made it this far. We're going to reach for the stars. Thank you guys so much.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up one more time for El Monstro, David Benavidez.
Monstro!